So this right here is my long lost Pokemon card collection. If you are a kid from the 90's, you probably remember seeing these binders, like everybody on the school bus or just in school in general kind of had one of these. I've been trying to look through these cards and see if there's anything valuable in them, but to be honest, I'm not really on the up and up with Pokemon trading cards, so I've done a little bit of research to kind of see like what was in here, if there's anything that just immediately would kind of strike and say like this is worth a lot, like a Charizard or something like that. Unfortunately, I don't have anything like that, but maybe there's somebody here in the comments that is better at knowing what Pokemon cards are valuable and which are not. So the way I kind of did this is I have my foils up front, and so the way that I did this is I have my normal foils up front, and then it goes into base set, and then from there there's some extra ones like jungles that maybe aren't quite as valuable, but I was still collecting as a kid at that time, so I kind of stuck them in the back. Here's my Ninetales, and the way you can kind of tell how they're valuable from the research that I've done is the most valuable have a first edition here, which as you can see this is not first edition. The second way to tell would be if it didn't have a shadow on this border, which most of mine from what I can see do have a shadow. And then also there'll be a marking here, which for this one it doesn't have a marking, which means it's base set, which is part of the original issue. It's not first edition like over here, but it was the one right after it. I'd say probably base set being the next most valuable. So just to kind of flip through my foils here, I have a Ninetales, Venusaur, Magnetron, Raichu, which I always really love this Raichu. I don't think it's actually very valuable, but it just always looked cool to me. There's a Mewtwo, which I don't think is valuable as well, but I have kind of watched some people say that this one is worth a little bit. I don't really have an idea of what it is worth because it does have a shadow. It's still base set, it's not first edition, but it does have a shadow, so it's a little bit less valuable. But I think this one might be worth something. And then towards the bottom here, it's just a Kangaskhan, or however you say that. Kangaskhan? Kangaskhan, I don't know, I don't remember. So flipping through, you'll see it. I kind of have like empty slots here, and these are the foils that I wanted to add in here. I just never got to as a kid, so these are the ones that I'm missing. But on this page there is a Nidoking and a Clefairy. Over here we have Poliwrath, and this Zapdos. I think that does it for my foils, but from there it just kind of goes into what the normal base set would look like. So these are not quite as valuable. It's just your normal Pokemon, like your Bulbasaur, your Ivysaur, have a Charmander, just going through the base sets. Caterpie, Metapod, Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill, Pidgeotto. I know I would always get these in the game when I played it on Game Boy. This was like your first Pokemon that you would catch, and probably your first Pokemon that would evolve and be worth anything when you're playing the Game Boy game. Personally, I played Yellow. Rattata, Raticate. There's this Pikachu here, base set. And your Sandshrew. And what is this one? Nidoran. Nidorino. Vulpix. Diglett. Doug Trio. Growlithe. This was one of my favorite ones as a kid. And I liked his evolution as well. It was pretty cool. I got a Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and this kind of matches my foil that I have. I think he's called Poliwrath. So Abra, Kadabra, Machop, and Machoke. Ponyta, Magnemite, Farfetch'd, Duo, Seal, Dugong. Some of these, I'll be honest, I don't even remember. There's going to be the ones that stick out, like this one, Ghastly. I always remember that one. Haunter. Everybody knows Onyx here, of course. Was Brock's Pokemon. Drowsy, Voltorb. As a kid, I always thought because this one was colorful that it would eventually one day be worth something, but probably not. But it still looks really interesting. It's Electrode. I have a Coughing, Tangela, Staryu, and Starmie. Jinx. I don't really know what was going on there with that one, to be honest. There's Electabuzz, Magmar, and Magikarp. Got a Porygon, and Dratini, and Dragonair. And I think that's pretty much it for my base sets. I do have a bunch of these trainers here, but I don't think the trainers are worth anything. Well, that's not completely true, because I saw a edition of not the Professor Oak trainer, but I think it was the Imposter one. There's like a Japanese version of it. I think that's worth a lot of money, but I'm not really sure how to identify that one, to be honest. Revive, that's probably really helpful if you're playing the game. Scoop Up, Clefairy. I never actually played the game, so I never got to use these. I was more of a collector. But Defender, Energy Retrieval, another Heal, Maintenance, Plus Power, Pokemon Flute, Some of these I actually bought as a kid. You can see the price tag still from them. Lass and Pokemon Breeder. It's another one that I actually bought. I must have had doubles of cards and maybe tried to trade it in for something that I didn't have. Devolution Spray. And more potions. Bill. Energy Removal. Gust of Wind. Potion. There is a switch. Switch one of your benched Pokemon with your active Pokemon. And then the Pokemon Center. Now part of playing the game was also having these energy cards. I don't know if it's anything like Magic, like the lands that you would use to be able to play the cards. Again, I never really played Pokemon too much, but I did put all of the energies in here. And at the bottom starts the Jungle Edition that I had. This is Butterfree. It is not first edition, but it is my jungle. So this is a repeat Pikachu Jungle Edition. Some of these are new. Parasect, Nidoran. I wonder what this means up here. It has like a sex for the Pokemon. I wonder if there's another version of that. But Nidorina. Mankey. Prime Ape. Oddish. Gloom. Meowth was definitely another one of my favorites. And then I had the evolution that is Persian. Rhyhorn. Rhydon. Just looking here, I have Goldeen. Seeking. Venonat. Tauros. Executor. And Cubone. Everybody likes Cubone. It's a cool looking card too. Think about it, it's kind of relaxing. Marowak. Bellsprout. Weeping Bell. And Jigglypuff. Tentacule. And Tentacruel. And this is moving into my fossils, starting with Tentacool. You can see the little fossil symbol here. Omanti. Omanstar. And Kabuto. I have an Eevee, which is a jungle, so I guess I didn't organize these very well. There is a Jolteon, jungle, and a Spearow. Fearow, Ekans, Arbok. My fossil version of Raichu, and Magmar. Shelder, Cloyster, Horsey, Seadra, Geodude, and Graveler. We have Golem and Psyduck. For whatever reason, people like Psyduck as well. He was never one of my favorites. I always thought he was kind of annoying. Evolution though, Golduck. Slowpoke, Slowbro, into Grimer, and Zubat. Got a Golbat, a Ghastly, Krabby, and Kingler. Weezing, Sandlash, now these were interesting because Mew is a promo. You can see that here. It's a different kind of card. If I remember correctly, the Mew promo was what you got when you went to watch the movie. They handed out that card. You could only get it by watching the movie, like going in person, sitting down. They would give you this card. And then Dragonite was another promo that they had. I think this was something to do with like WB hosting shows or something. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But it was another promo that they did. But I always thought that was a really cool card. We have a trainer that is a mysterious fossil. There is Gambler, Recycle, Energy Search, and Mr. Fuji. He is chilling with his Pokemon. There's some empty pages here. And I think this is it. Dodedro, another Jigglypuff for a jungle, and Radish. Yeah, but back here there's one trainer for some reason that I stuck way back here. I don't know what I was thinking at that age, but it was just a Pokeball with a jungle logo. So who knows why I did that, but that is pretty much it. So if any of these are worth anything, please let me know. I only know the little bits of like looking for certain symbols, but I have not looked up really a lot of these cards to see if they're worth anything. So just let me know what you think. If not, hopefully this was enough to get you to sleep.